I just would like to know how you found that I do sculptures and paintings, because I didn't.
Yeah, you know, you have put it somewhere in a CV and it's in the World Wide Web, you know?
Because it's my other,
it can be difficult, yeah?
My
but
other life, my secret.
Yeah, it seems to me that you offered this secret somewhere in the internet.
It should be there, but with another name. Thank you for your words. I think that I can walk because for me it's very difficult and very hard to stay quiet. Okay, so I need to come out from the stage. You can listen me, or it is better to have the microphone?
You can.
This is okay? So, this is maybe a strange concept that I'm trying to manage, that it is the concept of the city as a brand. In this case, in this situation, not the city but a street, a particular place from the city. So, in all our cities we have places that they are more heritage than others. But imagine that some kind of tourist or someone come to Florence and what they are thinking to find here. They come here to find culture, they come here to find heritage, and they come here to understand the history of the past, of course. So now imagine that in the middle of Florence you start to see all brands that we already have it, but they change the facades of the building. They put different kind of advertisings in all places. So what we will feel? Okay, maybe we can feel that, oh, they are very modern now. Okay, for some kind of people it's okay. But for other kind of people, maybe for the general, for the kind of tourism that they are trying to catch in this place, it will be something that it could be wrong for business and for our memory, for the memory of the past. Because all the time we are trying to protect the memory of the past, the memory of the place, that it is something very important for me and I think for the generality of people. So when we are talking about the street of a particular place, I'm doing a small research that I think it could be obviously for almost all of the people, but it's good to talk about that. I'm talking about the city of Lisbon downtown. I don't know if you know Lisbon, but it is a very particular place in Lisbon that it was destroyed by an earthquake on the 18th century, completely destroyed. And our king at that time, they make a new project that should make the new city in 1 year, imagine, for that time. So they prepare a different style of construction for that time, that it was based in some kind of pre-constructed buildings. So they make huge factories, they use different standards, and then they make the streets and the buildings all in 1 year, because they should put all the people again inside of the city. Because our king, on that time, for one side it was good, for other it was bad, but they closed the city and they didn't allow anyone to come out from the city because many people were sick, and they didn't want that Portugal have some kind of diseases because of that kind of sickness. Because people didn't have water, for example, so people died a lot. But the king closed the city and closed everyone inside. So it was something catastrophic for the time. But in the point of view of architecture, it was very good, because in 1 year he rebuilt the city. I don't know with what money, but he rebuilt. So, because I'm talking about heritage, okay, many people stay looking to the sun, stay thinking about nothing, and go to the places. And what they want to see there? Well, we need to think, should we do something? Okay, globalization is something very good. I know that it is, because we have access to internet, we can use all the things that we have around us. But at the same time, the point of view of creativity, of course, it can block our creativity. Why? Because everyone is doing the same everywhere. At some years ago, I was, for example, in Lebanon, in Beirut. And of course, when I went there, I thought, okay, I'm going to see a different country, a different culture, and maybe I will find a different architecture too. But it was a little sad for me, because they maintain, for example, in Bilbos, that it is a traditional villa, they maintain the traditional architecture. But when we enter to Beirut, if it is not only the downtown of the city, the surroundings, it's huge buildings, they are equal everywhere. So everyone copy United States, Singapore, so they are changing the memory of the place. It was not that kind of memory that I had from that place. So it was a little sad for me because I was trying to find something different, the local culture, but I didn't find it. And even to eat something from the place, it was very hard to find it too, because I need to ask to the local people, where should I eat your food? Because I want to try. I don't know if I like it or not, so I want to do that. So where can I find it? So it was really, really something bad. And from that moment, I start looking in other places, because really I travel a lot. And I start finding that almost all countries are doing the same mistake. In my point of view, it's a mistake. Because we are losing business, we are losing our culture, and we are losing our identity in all places. Sometimes even inside of our own country we are mixed. For example, Portugal is so small that it is nice that for 100 kilometers of distance, usually people talk in a with a different sound, you know, and the architecture usually is different. But nowadays all Portugal have the same architecture everywhere. So it's a little sad because we are losing even inside our identity. And that is something that we should protect, because otherwise we don't know from where we are. And it is so good if we travel for China, for example, and then when we come back to Europe, it doesn't matter in which country we arrive first, but we feel that we are in Europe, because we feel that we are in our home, you know, because Europe nowadays, it's a big country. And that it is a very good idea. And where is our identity? If we go to our hometown, we need to see our things, we need to see our culture, we need to feel more protected. It's like a family, of course, we need to know who are our parents, you know. So, of course, this is what I was talking. I'm not to repeat me, I'm talking about the same in a different way. So imagine, in the city we can talk about colors, we can talk about food, we can talk even about the smell of the city. Because it's so nice, because some cities have some kind of flowers, others have some kind of trees with different smells. So it's very nice. Imagine, Lisbon, it's a city like, imagine all of this city destroyed. Unless this part of the city, that it is the Moorish area of the city, it was not destroyed, because the houses was made with wood. So nothing happens on that side. And the king, because the king didn't like the idea to have Moorish people inside of the city, because the downtown of the city, it was to make business, because Lisbon, it was a big port for that time, so all boats come to that part of Europe, and then they spread the goods and the goods from all Europe. So in that part of the city, many people from other countries live there just to make business. So the king really need to make a new city there very faster, because he was losing money. So he started doing a different city with a big, huge square, that now it is like the icon of Lisbon. And all of these huge, big square there, it was a place with ministries and places for business, okay? And he organized the streets according subjects. For example, it was the Gold Street, that it is the street where everyone can buy and sell gold. We have, for example, the shoe streets, that it is a place where people can buy shoes. We have the leather street. So all streets was organizing according brands, let's say like that. So it was like a big shopping center for the time, very original. And Lisbon started to be organizing like this. This is the new part from the 18th century. Of course, what I found, you can see here very fast that this part of Lisbon is organized like squares, so the lines are very regular. And I found this line here, that it is Rua da Madalena. And Rua da Madalena, Madalena Street, it's a street that it is the border between the Moorish area of the city, that it is the hill, and the other part of the city. And it was constructed just with one street for the castle. So it was some kind of way to put the Moorish part of the city on the other side and make cause some kind of difficulty to them to come to the other side. So, okay, you can come, but you just can pass on that part of the city, you understand? So he was very smart for that idea. So no one could say, oh, he's put the others out of the city. No, because they are there, but he closed them, you understand? So even nowadays, if we go to there, they live like in a different country. They speak with a different language. Even the fado music there, it's different too. So it's nice. But this street, nowadays, it's full of people from other countries. And for me, I was start to thinking that it was a business street, very important because big boats stop here to make business. And nowadays, this is full of Chinese, Polish people, Turkish people, people from everywhere. They open them restaurants there. So what I felt that, okay, what should I say? I was thinking, can I go to Italy and give my idea, or can I go to Italy, or should I go to Italy and tell them what they would like to listen? But I'm going to say what I want. So my idea is that it's not a question of what they are doing there. It's a question that we are losing the local culture. So they can have their own business, okay. But my concept for this place is to make like some kind of rule that everyone should make business according some kind of subject. Because if this is the gold street, the plate street, the silver street, the bronze street, and the others, this one for me, and that it is the brand that I would like to show you, it's the wine street, because it's one of the most important icons of Portugal, it's the wine. So what I would like to tell is this: all business of these streets should be around the wine. Restaurants, the food, and all the brands from Portugal should be there. So people who want to make business or taste wine, they know that they can go there. So it will be like a different street, but the subject, it will be the wine. So this is the story of Lisbon that I already told. I'm talking very fast. So this is the Eiffel lift. This is very funny because almost no one knows that. This is some icons of Lisbon. You see, Lisbon have many colors. Maybe because we are mixed with very different cultures. And this is pictures from this street. So when we are in these streets, we can see lots of people, and it's crowded of tourists nowadays. But no one goes here because nothing to do there. Nothing to see, nothing to visit. You see, it's only cars and empty street. So globalization is important, but not so. It should be not so restrictive. So I think that we should reclassify and stimulate the street. We have done a small inquiry in the street it's not too many people, but it was around 200 people. I put some students in the street asking the people, what do you like to see here? And it was nice because we found that the most spoken words, it was heritage and local culture. It was nice because we asked to Portuguese and we asked to tourists, and they cannot find that on that street. So we find, okay, that in the middle of the street we have tried to find what kind of brands we have in Lisbon downtown. So we have all the international brands, but in the Madalena Street it's almost empty. So it's an opportunity to do something. That's why, again, I was thinking about to create the brand of the wine street. So we start looking for the whole projects of the city, understand how they was done, and how the city center was drawn. And we understand that because of the construction, it was very faster for that time. The structure of the house, it was around. So in the middle, it's like an open space. So all the walls, we can change the place, even for the time. So it was very, very nice project. So this is very old pictures from the past, from the beginning of the last century. We have done new projects, so we are doing a hard job now because we have put all the things inside of the computer, because then we need to change. And we have done some kind of research because the downtown of Lisbon, it was starting to be like lost in the time, because because of new shopping centers, people stop to go there and start to going to the shopping centers outside of the city. But nowadays, start to open again new business inside, but all with Portuguese brands, where people only can buy Portuguese food. So this is crowded of tourism now because of that, because they go there, because they want to taste the pastel de nata, or they want to taste the codfish, for example, because it's very traditional, or they want to listen fado. I'm showing these because I'm very proud, because they are projects made by me, okay? So even the sculpture, okay? But they are inside of Lisbon. Even in the middle of the big square, we have the beer museum, because we do beer too. And even the Portuguese, they don't know that we do beer. And now they can go there. They can taste the beer, the local beer. So it's very nice because they are crowded. And I have done like a small research about the port wine and the wine in the middle of Portugal. And we found that in other places inside of Portugal, we have very nice places only talking about wine. And tourists go there just to taste the wine. So why in Lisbon, that it is the capital, we don't have nothing according to wine, the subject of the wine? So that's why we talk about wine. So we collect from the memory of the past some kind of promoters of the construction. So this is some kind of drawing from the beginning of the century where architects from that time make the structure of the house. And in some places I found that we can put them outside of the walls, so we can take the stones and we can maintain the structure. So we start thinking how to do the shops and how to do the restaurants there with that memory. So because it's so important, that kind of structure for the time, we start thinking in some kind of drawings that we can make in tiles, for example, because they are very used. We use a lot the tiles in Portugal, or we can make different kind of interior design for our shops. So the idea is to oblige everyone to show these in all shops and in all restaurants. So the memory of the place, it will be connected with the memory of the wine. So it will be the subject of the brand and the memory of the architecture, the local architecture. So people can feel, they can see that. And at the same time, because tiles in Portugal, they are very, very important for us. All houses have tiles everywhere since the past. I don't know why, but I think it comes from the Moorish time, because Moorish start using the tiles, you know. So we use a lot the tiles. So the tiles are colorful in Portugal. We have modern tiles, old tiles, tiles from old times of history. So why we don't reuse them? So we have here, for example, a good example of a modern place for listen fado, that they recreate the memory of fado, but with tiles, you see. And here, for example, some stairs. Imagine, this is outside. Imagine this is only a wall with some stairs, but they have done tiles with drawings from the local memory of the place. And here too, more tiles from the Pombalin's time. So, if we are doing that, why that street, that it is so empty, we cannot do something like Hollywood style? So now I'm copying the globalization, you see? So if in Hollywood we have a street, we have the main street, not Hollywood, sorry, in Las Vegas. If in Las Vegas we have the main street, of course this is not Las Vegas, but if in Las Vegas we have the main street, that it is a motorway with that big, huge hotels, and then we have a very, very small street on the backside that no one goes there, that it was the beginning of Las Vegas, and then they say there that this is the heritage place, because it's from many years ago, and for them it's around 25 years ago, you understand? So they say that this is the heritage place of Las Vegas, and what they have done, they want to catch tourism to that street. So what they have done, it is very funny. They create at night, like Disneyland, all days at the same hour, some kind of atmosphere like Hollywood style with music. They cover the street there. It's not my idea. They cover the street with lights and movies, so people go there at that time just to see that kind of theater okay? And then they go to the local restaurants from that street. So they was very clever because they catch people from the main street for that street. So my idea is to use the lights because it's not expensive, and during the night recreate in the walk sides and in the facades of the buildings just local culture. So like the tiles, like the colors, so people can walk in the street, that they are very ugly streets because they are dark now, so they can have color during the night. And I think that we can catch people there. So imagine if we have the wine street, and at the same time, if we can input and improve the mood of people, I think that people will expend more money and we can maintain our culture because we are showing our culture in a different way. So, in the conclusion, this could be like a brand. This could be like a franchising style that we can use in other places, in other cities. So it's not expensive. It's just to think what are the local memory, how to use, how to organize, and then we can catch with the images we can spread it in the places, and people will go there because it will be funny. This is the main square. So thank you.
Thank you.